Hello, it's so good to see you. Good evening.
Hello.
Can you tell me why you decided to work at JFCS?
I really searched for an organization that helps people, plain and simple. And I also wanted to work with good people who are committed to what they were doing. That's why I work at JFCS. The breadth of their services is big. The depth of their commitment is deep.
Well, actually, I was a client first. The career counselor and other people who worked with me really listened to understand, and I felt empowered. And full circle, now I am a career counselor here at JFCS.
I've always loved working with the refugee population. I actually started as a volunteer in college, and I loved that experience and found my way into social work. I loved my internship, and luckily they had a position open.
After 5 years living here, then I found out there's an amazing program that helps immigrants and refugees. And first I entered as interpreter and then started my career as a service coordinator, which can expand my, ability of helping more people.
I've always had an interest in helping other people and also learning about other cultures.
Working for JFCS for me is a rewarding job. During my job, I see that I help refugees to build their lives and reach their goals and feed their families.
We live in a country that is doing its best to be a welcoming place for everyone, and I want to be a part of that.
Good evening. We all understand that it is our role at JFCS to help people through life's changes and challenges. But what does that look like on a daily basis to help people and make a difference in the lives of our neighbors here in Pittsburgh? Welcome to Jewish Family and Community Services' 84th annual meeting. I'm Jillian Sachs, the meeting chair and former JFCS board chair. Over the past year, we have supported over 12,000 people across our 7 service areas. We are grateful for the opportunity to help families overcome food insecurity, professionals find new jobs, immigrants become citizens, vulnerable adults living fulfilling lives, refugees settle in their new homes, seniors stay independent, and community members find healing from trauma and bereavement. This evening, we are going to hear from staff members about their experiences meeting the needs of the community and addressing challenges on an individual level. We are so grateful that you can join us this evening. Thank you to our community, our partners, our volunteers, our staff, our friends, and our family for your support. What challenges have you seen over the past year in the community?
Lack of nutrition and lack of nutrition education.
The ongoing needs that have resulted from the pandemic, there are still many people who are food insecure, who have critical needs, who have difficulty paying rent, paying utilities, and then many of these people are struggling for the first time. Before the pandemic, they never had these sorts of needs, and some of them are uncomfortable reaching out for help.
Public transit is bad. The buses are getting bad. The other day, I seen a lady didn't get on a bus because it was too full, and she just walked away, and she was older. I thought, wow, what's she gonna do? I guess she waited for the next bus.
The last year or two, I've seen a lot of hardship, a lot of families during this COVID incident. Hard to find to pay their utilities and bills, and forced to almost be evicted from their home.
My name is Matthew Bolton. I'm the director of the JFCS Squirrel Hill Food Pantry.
What challenges have you been seeing in the community?
So the challenges I see are the current environment with COVID-19, as well as the federal resources that keep changing. And so it's very hard to navigate these different opportunities to help. And so that's something that we see is a big need currently and in the future.
How are we addressing food insecurity in the community?
So with these new challenges, we've continued to provide information both through literature as well as in person of all the resources available in-house at JFCS and also externally.
What programs and services do you provide to meet individuals' needs as they experience challenges and changes?
The Squirrel Hill Food Pantry is open 5 days per week. We're on 5 to 7 different bus lines, and we also have caseworkers on staff. And so we're very well situated to help people in any step of the way they may be in. The pantry services anywhere from 300 to 400 families per month. We're unique in that we are open 5 days per week. We have caseworkers that can help people with other social service challenges, and we have a lot of culturally appropriate food, including kosher, halal. We also have a gluten-free section, and we have food that's specific to people experiencing homelessness.
So what are your hopes and goals for the future in your department?
For the years ahead, we're going to focus on our operations to ensure that with all the changes going on nationally and internationally, that we maintain all of the food that we have, maintain our wonderful team of volunteers and our gifted staff to provide a compassionate environment at the pantry for anybody who has any need.
What challenges have you seen over the past year in the community?
For Afghan families, they are facing a lot of challenges compared to the normal refugee and immigrants that we used to serve. Those challenges are including but not limited to trauma.
Most of Afghan new arrivals, they need to learn everything from zero.
Housing is a big one for us. There are so many new arrivals in Pittsburgh between our agency and the other 3 resettlement agencies, and we're all trying to find housing that's affordable.
I think the most challenges that I have seen possibly within the last 2 years, there was challenges with childcare, housing, finances, which lack of employment and not being able to go to work because they can't leave their children at home alone, not being able to navigate using technology.
My name's Brenda Green, and I'm the program supervisor for the Refugee and Immigrant Services Department, and I'm here tonight to talk briefly about what we do.
What challenges have you been seeing with your clients?
During the last 6 months, we've seen a huge influx of Afghan refugees and humanitarian parolees after Kabul fell. And they joined an already established refugee Afghan community here. But because of the sheer numbers and the short time frame, it was a real burden for not just our department, but the agency. But we came together and we put a lot of things into place, and we're doing as much as we can to get them into housing. We've had to put them temporarily into hotels just because housing wasn't available. But now slowly and consistently they are moving in and they're becoming more settled. And now we're still dealing with like 71 Afghan families that are in transition, and now a war has broken out in the Ukraine. We're going to be dealing with another population that speaks a different language, has different cultural traits, and they're going to be dealing with the same type of trauma. And they're going to be coming quickly and in large numbers, probably quicker than other refugee populations have. So again, we're going to rely on the systems that we have in place, our experience, the support we get from the board and management, and from our other departments in the agency, and we will get the work done.
What programs and services do you provide to meet individuals' needs as they experience challenges and changes?
It's basically divided into 2 programs. We have the Refugee Resettlement Program, which is what most people identify JFCS with. It's been around for decades. We have a long history of helping numerous populations. We now have multiple generations of families that started as refugees. And so it's that core program where we get them housing, we get them enrolled in school, we get them their first job, we get them in English class, we do cultural orientation, we teach them how to navigate the bus system, all of that. And then the other side of the department are the supplemental programs, because the U.S. refugee program is a self-sufficiency model, and it's basically designed that they get case management for 90 days. Which of us would be able to assimilate into a new culture in 90 days? It's the impossible dream. And some of our clients do. They are amazing, but many need extra help. And those are the programs in the rest of our department. We have 2 intensive case management programs for people that are dealing with trauma and other things that might make that self-sufficiency difficult. We have our employment programs. We have the ISAC program, which is Immigrant Services and Connections, which is a county-wide program that is, we're the lead agency. It's a multi-agency partnership where anyone who has a barrier because of language or culture can get assistance. We work with Americans, Puerto Ricans, people from Guam, other U.S. territories, but still have that cultural barrier. can get services from Isaac. We have a support group program, which has been written up in peer-reviewed journals and has received a lot of accolades, where we train people from the community to become peer leaders for their group. And it sort of works on a 12-step kind of model, but the idea is that you can get help within your community from people who have gone through what you're going through now. And we operate, hundreds of people have gone through the support groups. It's a great program. We empower the clients. We make sure that they know their rights, because our clients are extremely vulnerable to predatory landlords, as to predatory lenders as well, as many Americans are as well. So we try to empower the clients and make them aware of their rights. We also let them know that we're here to help them, but they need to make their own decisions and they need to trust in their decisions.
Do you have anything planned for the future in your department?
Our department is in a continual planning mode. So we have goals of continuing to work with our clients and helping them achieve their goals, but at the same time, we have goals of addressing the systemic issues that make and create these barriers for our clients. So we're going to continue to extend programming where appropriate, continue to add staff where appropriate, continue to improve our interpretation services and our cultural orientation for clients that are arriving, rather they be refugees or immigrants or asylees or anyone else that needs assistance. We're going to continue to work with other community leaders and our contacts in the mayor's office. Pittsburgh is officially now a welcoming city. It's always been a welcoming place to live, but now we're an official designated welcoming city. So we work closely with the mayor's office on refugee and immigrant affairs. We're working with philanthropic leaders. We're working with congregations of every makeup and volunteers and other community organizations, our partners. JFCS is a big collaborator. We know that we have expertise and we know that we have the skills, but we can't do it alone. So we're going to continue to work with county and state governments and our partners.
Is there anything that you'd like to highlight as challenges over this past year?
We have people who are facing violence in their home countries, privation. Literally, it's a matter of life and death for many of the children that we work with.
I would say a lot of issues our clients face is simply an awareness of resources available to them. It's quite difficult for someone who's new to the country to get access to everything they need to know what they need to do to get all of the immigration paperwork handled.
Communication with folks who do not speak English is always one of the many challenges. And I also think just access to services for non-English speakers is always an ongoing issue.
My name is Jamie Englert. I'm the Director of Immigration Legal Services.
What challenges have you been seeing with your clients?
So the Afghan crisis/situation is a big challenge for us. We receive a bunch of individuals from Afghanistan that the government helped to evacuate and brought to the United States. The challenges that we face around that are that they don't have a long-term permanent status. And so our team is tasked with meeting with each individual, identifying what options they may or may not have available to them, and then filling out those applications and representing them through that process. And it's different for each individual, and it's all, unfortunately, very complex and labor intensive.
How are we as an agency addressing these changes and challenges?
One of the ways that we address the challenges that our clients face is by advocacy, both on the local level and on the state level and on the federal level. We're constantly working with our congressmen and representatives to inform them what's important to the people, the constituents in their areas, and make recommendations for ways that they can address those issues.
How are we managing the growing need of immigrants who need our services right now?
So there are a couple of different ways that we help clients. One is through education and information for individuals when the laws change, when policy changes, so that people know what is available and how they might qualify for those services. And then the other way that we serve people is through direct representation. So we represent people in family-based immigration law, in humanitarian-based immigration law, and we do removal defense, especially for the unaccompanied children that we serve.
Do you have anything planned for the future in your department?
So one of our goals going forward over the next year is to find ways to meet the entire need of the immigrant population who needs legal immigration services in the region. Every year my team serves between 21 and 2,200 individuals, and we don't put a dent in the need that we see. So there is a waiting list of people who've been waiting sometimes months, sometimes as much as a year, to have an opportunity to be represented at a reasonable fee or for free. And so the goal for the upcoming year is to be able to serve all of those people and make sure they get their needs addressed.
What challenges have you been seeing with your clients?
So working in the field of teen mental health, I see a great need for mental health treatment and services and a lack of available providers and services.
There are a plethora of mental health diagnoses that come with living in a place of constant transition. COVID, we don't have an overarching cure yet. We still have strains that continue to pop up. And I think that people are becoming very fatigued about that.
A higher need for mental health and therapy services without enough programs, services, clinicians, or even psychiatrists and doctors out there available for these young people.
Especially the elderly who are very, very lonely, want contact, have needs, but just can't get what they need.
Stephanie Small, Director of Clinical Services.
What challenges have you seen over the past year in the community?
1 in 4 adults are suffering from some type of mental health challenge. We want to help address that. Teens are suffering. Older adults are suffering. Caregivers are suffering. Everybody feels stress and tired and not sure where to turn or what to do, and we want to help them.
Stephanie, how is your department addressing the rising mental health crisis, along with the needs of seniors and the challenge to live independently in the community?
We're really reaching out as far as we can to bring people to us. So with caregivers, we've increased our support groups to make sure that they have what they need in times when they often feel alone. For teens, we have our chat on our Upstreet website where parents, teens, professionals can reach out just for a little bit of support. Maybe you don't need therapy, maybe you just need a kind voice to listen. The chat allows them to do that. We have caregiver services for people who need help in their homes and to help them get through the tough times with help from others.
How is your department addressing individuals' changes and challenges in life over the past year?
We provide a range of services for older adults and for mental health services. For older adults, we have support groups, we have caregiver services, we have information and referral, we have counseling and psychiatry, which leads us to all mental health. We serve specifically, we have Upstreet for teens, we have services for those who are suffering after the 10/27 shooting. We serve all ages, and we want to help people through the challenges they're facing.
As you look to the year ahead, how are you adapting and developing your programs?
So our hope for the future is to really meet people where they are and bring them into the light of help. A lot of people still suffer from stigma and feel that they can't reach out. We want to decrease stigma so they feel comfortable reaching out for the help that they need. We know that wait lists exist. We're working hard to achieve no wait list, either through the chat or through therapy itself. We're hoping to get people through the next commemoration of the shooting and potentially the trial. We want to just be there with the people and help them help themselves, which is really what mental health is about, giving people the tools to help themselves.
What challenges have you seen over the past year in the community?
I think at a certain point in your life, you see that people need help and that it's not just about you, it's not just about your family. And there are people who are struggling on a daily basis for things that you just take for granted.
There is not ample, affordable, safe, and clean housing, and it becomes a greater problem every day.
Well, the last 2 years with COVID, it was a challenge in so many ways. Everything became much more challenging. Caregivers that were working full-time all of a sudden didn't have childcare anymore, very many of them. So all of the problems everybody else saw were magnified here, and they were essential workers, so they would have to be out in the community.
Hello, my name is Nicole Ioli. I am the director of the Guardianship program.
What challenges have you been seeing in the community?
Their mental health has been a big issue the last 2-3 years. And we're seeing a large number of individuals with cancer for some reason, and we're not really sure why, but we've had at least 7 the last 2 years with different types of cancer.
How are we supporting adults with disabilities?
We offer guardianship of person, which is encompasses all of the medical needs that a person has. We help them make medical decisions. We help them navigate the medical side of things. If they do have cancer, we help them with the treatments, what would be appropriate for them and what they could manage. We also do financial guardianship, which would be helping them with every financial need that they have, paying their bills, making sure they receive all of the benefits they're entitled to, medical assistance, Social Security benefits. We offer rep payee services for individuals that do not need a full guardian, but do need somebody to help them navigate the financial end of things, paying their bills, making sure they have all the benefits they're entitled to. We make doctor's appointments for individuals and follow up with medical professionals to make sure that all of the needs are being met. We also offer case management for someone who doesn't need guardianship services, but does still need some type of assistance and help in the community. We have been able to succeed in getting every single one of our clients placed, whether they're coming from a hospital or whether they're coming from being homeless, a shelter, or nursing home where they were not appropriate for, or jail. We've been able to get every single client placed into an appropriate housing. That sounds pretty easy, but it's a huge challenge. It takes up a lot of time and it can be quite emotionally draining at times, but we've been successful.
What are your hopes and goals for the future?
We've already started to increase our visits for individuals. So, people that we may have only been able to see once a month, we're now seeing 2 or 3 times a month. And we have no idea what the future holds with COVID and the new variant. So the moments where we have an open door to go see our clients, we're trying to see them as often as we can. We're trying to get them out to the community. We've taken them out shopping. Some of them have not left their house since the shutdown. So, some of them have been in their apartments or in their group homes for over 2 years and have not left. So just getting them to go outside, because that brings up a lot of anxiety. Most of our clients don't have full capacity. So even just understanding what the 2 years have been was a challenge in trying to get articulated in a way where they could understand what has happened and understand that it is now safe to go outside. Walking outside and seeing people in masks we kind of are used to it, but for someone who doesn't really understand what's happening and hasn't been outside during all this, it's frightening. It could be frightening for them.
What challenges have you seen over the past year in the community?
There's so many potential barriers, so sometimes resumes are not the main thing when you think of career counseling. So there can be mental health issues, there are people who are struggling for food. So it's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We have to address that first before you start a resume.
I'm a career counselor. I work with youth as well as adult. I get to work with people who have been in the country for over 5 years. Their language level is still at the base level, and it's difficult, navigating without language.
I think everybody's just even more distant. I don't know if it's the technology, but no one really talks to each other anymore.
I'm Becky Johnson. I'm the director of the Career Development Center here at JFCS.
Is there anything that you'd like to highlight as challenges over this past year?
The workforce is just crazy right now. I think the biggest factors have been that it's an ever-changing market. The needs are different, employers' needs are different, what job seekers want out of a job is different. COVID really changed us, and it changed the way we want to work and we want to interact with our work and what we look for in a work in terms of benefit and balance. And so we've seen job seekers not know where to start, or to feel stuck, like they don't know where to go forward, or to feel not as motivated as they had in the past to navigate the job search process. We've also seen an increase in mental health challenges and people needing other supportive services, critical needs support, resources in order to successfully navigate the job search and even retain a job. And so, navigating those as a team and as staff have been challenges that have been great for us to learn, but also to grow our skill set and be able to serve more people.
How are we supporting job seekers in this dynamic and changing job market?
We work with people in a one-on-one individualized capacity, and that could look like one-off help, maybe help with a resume, help with a cover letter. On a Friday afternoon, preparing for a mock interview for an interview taking place on a Monday. It could also mean ongoing support in the form of career counseling. That might be engaging with somebody on a weekly or monthly basis as a check-in to get help that you need, to continue feeling that spark, that motivation, that passion to keep going in what can be a truly difficult process. And then we provide content-based workshops. So we're working with community partners, we're working with our clients, we're working with the general public to share our information and our knowledge to help them navigate this process, but also to remind people that we're here as a resource, that we can help. We're available, you just need to reach out.
So what are your hopes and goals for the future in your department?
I think we've been doing a lot of brush up on resource connections and making sure that we're aware of all of the resources that exist, what we can do to get someone connected, what the eligibility requirements are, and how staff can be best equipped to navigate that conversation with a client. So we've been focusing a lot on our own professional development. We also hope to grow our offerings and be able to serve folks who might not have thought of the CDC, of JFCS as that first point of contact when they're looking for a job. Maybe they're unemployed, maybe they're looking to make a change, and we want to be the first place that people think of, and that it's easy for them to reach out to us, to get in for an appointment, and to know what to do from there. And so my hope is that we are able to grow our name recognition within the community, within the greater Pittsburgh region, but also that we just become this trusted place that people want to come to, because if we build trust in our department, it's going to build trust for the agency, and that's going to help all of the other departments as well continue to serve and do what we do best for the community.
For 84 years, Jewish Family and Community Services has been the safety net for individuals and families in the greater Pittsburgh community. We've always focused on supporting our community members through all of life's changes and challenges, offering programs and services for every stage of life. We're able to achieve our goals with the support of our keystone partners, the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh, the United Way of Southwestern Pennsylvania, the Jewish Healthcare Foundation, and with the support of community members like you. Join us as we celebrate 2 community members who've made a difference this year, as we present the Howard and Beverly Mermelstein Leadership Award and the R.A. Sherman Volunteer of the Year Award. Please welcome Margie Dubner and Bob Mermelstein.
It's been such a pleasure for our family to honor our parents with this award since 1993. In fact, our family's continuous involvement with Jewish Family and Community Service leadership goes back over 50 years.
The Mermelstein family has subscribed to the mission and vision of JFCS. Our parents modeled both leadership and philanthropy. It's really been a love affair with JFCS. It's really how we've been raised.
Dad was a beloved pediatrician, totally committed to his family and always made time to give back to his community. Mom has always been our devoted mother, friend, companion, regular golf partner, was educated as a social worker and a longtime volunteer in the community. Our parents were a package deal. They complemented one another and were the zig to each other's zag. They've provided a great roadmap to our success. Our hope is that we can even approach what they've done for their kids and the community.
This year's recipient of the Howard and Beverly Mermelstein Leadership Award also embodies the values and commitment of JFCS that our parents have. Larry Schwartz has been a great advocate and a leader for JFCS since 2015. Larry personally, professionally, and through his volunteerism exudes the qualities inherent in all the Mermelstein Leadership awardees.
Through his expertise, Larry has helped to strengthen JFCS's technology infrastructure, which has been critical for the organization's growth. Larry has also been a member of the JFCS Governance Committee and has been instrumental in creating a more diverse board that reflects the agency's clientele while maintaining a Jewish character. Professionally, Larry is the CEO of Midnight Blue Technology Services, a team of IT professionals providing their clients with leading-edge technology consulting and services.
Larry, on behalf of our mother, Bev, Bob, our sister Jan, and myself, we are honored to present you with the 2022 Howard and Beverly Mermelstein Leadership Award. Congratulations.
Thank you. I have to say I was really surprised. I've been on several nonprofit boards over the years, and this is by far one of the best run, and it's just easy to contribute. But also I see so many other people doing so much. I feel like, why me? And so I appreciate being recognized, but there's so many fantastic people on this board and proud to be part of it. Thank you.
Mazel tov and congratulations.
It's an honor to welcome R.E.A. Sherman to present the R.E.A. Sherman Volunteer of the Year Award.
Dick, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I've learned a little bit about your background in the short few minutes that we've known each other, and I already feel like I'm your friend. And I think that what I've heard is that's how you work at the food pantry.
Very much so.
You're very dedicated to the work, but also you're very, which we call a mensch, a good, decent person who relates to other people well. And that's really important when you're working with people who are in distress because they're lacking food. And I've learned about you and about your wife that you've been giving, sharing. People, your whole life, your whole career has been focused in on giving to others through teaching and helping people in need. And I think it's a great honor for me to be able to give you this award, the JFCS R.E.A. Sherman Volunteer of the Year Award to Dick Corbett for his years of service to JFCS Squirrel Hill Food Pantry 2022.
Well, thank you very much, Ari. This is indeed an honor to receive this. When I first started to volunteer, I never thought that I would be enjoying it as much as I have. But it's a wonderful organization, and I hope to be able to continue there indefinitely and serve the needs of others. It's just wonderful to be able to do that.
Thank you for your volunteer work and your service throughout for the pantry and throughout your whole life.
Thank you, and congratulations to our honorees. As we celebrate another year of service to the community, I'd like to thank you for joining us. Thank you to Jillian Zacks for hosting such a wonderful meeting, to Jordan Galin and the staff of JFCS for the amazing work that you do every day. And thank you, fellow board members, donors, community partners, supporters, and friends, for your time, support, and kindness that helps us fulfill our mission. I wish each of you a wonderful evening, and we look forward to celebrating with you in the year ahead.
I'm not loud enough.
This is so awkward.
That's it.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.